Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to our next installment of the E-XPO, which we have every couple of weeks. We're excited to have everybody join us today. We're also excited for our guest speaker, Dave Zepponi, from the Executive Director from E-XPO, which we'll introduce in a moment. But without further ado, I'm going to have everybody go around and the core team to introduce themselves. But also, before we get started, just remember that the event's about 30 minutes long. If you have any questions or have anything you want to talk about while we're reviewing this, please look at the crawl at the bottom of the screen, which is a phone number which you can either email or text your question, and we'll get to it as soon as possible during our presentation. Or if we run out of time, we'll try to get back to you afterwards. So my name is Mark Owens. I'm with Reliant Construction Management, and I'm facilitating today. And I'm also a member of the core team. And my company basically provides construction management services throughout the Bay Area to homeowners associations and apartment buildings and homeowners directly. And we do full service with scope development to building envelope repair, upgrades, infrastructure upgrades, risk management, fire life safety. Daisy, do you want to start? Introduce yourself.
Hi, everyone. I'm Daisy Ortiz. I'm with IQB Construction and Roofing. We are your Bay Area's roofing and construction specialist. Service from I forgot my service. We service from Monterey all the way to Concord.
Great. Well, thanks, Daisy. Annetta?
I'm Annetta with Bancap Property Management. I'm one of the community association managers. I also have Mango here. So we manage HOAs in San Francisco as well as rental communities.
Great. Daniel.
Hi, my name is Daniel Lima from Endure Painting, and we do interior, exterior, residential, commercial, and HOA properties. We do all the above for the painting services in your area, all the Bay Area.
Okay. And Brian.
Hi, Brian Garcia with Restoration Management Company. We are a full-service disaster recovery company. So if your property has fires, floods, mold, asbestos, lead, biohazards, or any other nasty thing that nobody wants to deal with, we're the ones that come in and take care of it all for you. Make sure that your residents get back into their homes as quickly, happily, and safely as possible. 14 branches throughout California, Washington, Denver, Phoenix, Texas. We've got offices everywhere. We're here to help you.
Great. Wonderful. And as I said when we started, we're really excited about our guest presenter today and participant. And it's without further ado, I'm going to have him introduce himself. Dave, take it away, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, thank you very much for having me today. I really appreciate this opportunity to speak with you and to enjoy a little virtual connection. It's a tough time now, and today in my presentation, I will discuss about the E-XPO, the Executive Council of Homeowners. We're based out of San Jose. We have offices in Southern California in Laguna Hills, Tracy, and down in Mountain View. So I just want you to know that COVID has materially affected us. We are changing dramatically. I'm the executive director. I was formerly with CACM and have been in the association management world my entire career, although not in community management. So just to let you know all that. The E-XPO is 47 years old. So we're the oldest HOA community association in the state of California. And we were established by professionals to help HOA boards and homeowners deal with the issues that they have in the CID industry. Our mission is to foster education, advocacy, and networking between our membership. Homeowners need to talk to each other and to learn in order to be good at what they do, a volunteer position. We're funded primarily by home membership, our homeowner membership, HOA boards. We also have individual memberships from homeowners, and we are funded by the professional service providers. We'll go into that a little more in just a second. We were started in San Francisco, or the San Francisco Bay Area, and now we've expanded throughout the state of California. We're offering services throughout California. And I've noticed that we've been getting quite a few people from out of state participate in our webinar series. We're basically a philanthropic association and not a trade association. We provide a service to our community because we feel that it's the right thing to do to build communities of character. And we've done this over the 47 years, which has given us a bit of an asset in terms of our trust. People trust who we are. We're a third party, a neutral third party that homeowners can call, that board members can call, and we help them through and help them identify issues that they may be involved with and help them find solutions. Our membership is 84% HOAs, and that's 33% of them are self-managed, 44% are managed with a community management firm, and then 7% of our membership are actually individuals, and that's quite a bit. Only 15% of our membership are professional service providers, or the vendors, management firms, lawyers, that type of thing. So we're uniquely we're in a kind of in a unique niche of in the marketplace. There are approximately 50% of the California homeowner associations are self-managed. They're under the median size of a HOA complex is 25 units, so 25 doors, and that means that about half of the management or the HOAs are really underserved. And our objective and my purpose in life, my raison d'etre, is to reach out and help those people be served. So next thing I'll talk about is what ECHO has been doing, because COVID has had a material change on what we do and how we do it as an association. ECHO, a principal source of funding for our association is in-person events. And of course, we don't do in-person events any longer. We had our HOA University, we had 6 regional seminars, we had 8 luncheon panels and basically committees, we call them resource panels. And then we had in-person training where we'd have classes and talk to people. We don't do any of those things any longer. So we've had to materially pivot. You know, I hate the use of that term, but we've pivoted our business and recreated it and launched several things. One of the things that we did immediately in March, when all of this kind of hit the fan, we went out and we launched a new program called At ECHO We Care. And we wanted, because we're philanthropic, we wanted to make sure people understood that we're there to help them regardless of their situation. If they have some challenges or some problems or whatever, we're there to help them. And so we wanted to do something special for them. One of the things we did was offer free Zoom meetings and actually tutorials, one-on-one tutorials with our board members, so that they can sign up for a Zoom meeting through ECHO. And many of them have taken that on, and we've trained countless numbers of boards out there and individuals on the boards. And so now we have a whole program where we're actually holding these Zoom meetings on our account for our membership. And it's a great program. It's really been well received. We also have our Insight, which is a newsletter, and we have our journal, which is printed or was printed. When the COVID thing hit and we lost a lot of in-person, we went to an electronic delivery of our magazine. I'm happy to say that we're coming back with a printed version in November and December, a little different, and we'll do 3 printed versions of the journal in 2021. So that's a material change for us to go to a printed, and we are happy to be able to go back to the new journal in a printed format. You can also pick up we have a guidebook that was done by one of our attorney members on how to deal with the COVID situation at the board level, how to hold your meetings. We've also had some really interesting things on COVID safety and mental health. We put that up. We've had a number of webinars helping people understand how to deal with COVID. And so this is all about how we care and we're helping our communities. We also eliminated the price of attending the webinars. Again, we want as many people to be aware of how to manage and work within their community. And there is a barrier for people to join that are members of HOAs. And so we said, look, we're just going to do this free for a while, as well as the journal is being distributed electronically, free to anyone. You don't have to be a member to get it. And so that's a big advantage that we felt was important for us to do as professionals in this industry, and someone who genuinely cares about the people that we're working with. In that regard, we have and will continue in 2021 to not have in-person meetings. I'm hoping that in the fall or winter, we might be able to get back to that. But right now, we just don't think it's a smart thing to do. It's risky for our membership. Many of our board members are elderly, and so unless there has to be an in-person meeting, we're gonna hold our guns. We're gonna stay to our guns and say no. We're just not doing it. It's just too risky. My organization actually closed its office, its physical location, and we're all staying in place. We're at our homes, and that's what you see behind me. This is my home, and we've decided that it's just a better way to do it. We want to stay healthy too. Our staff does, and so they're staying at home. So we have a lot of stuff that's going on. We had to redo entirely our convention this year, which was in person. We call it the HOA University. We combined that with David Levy and Levy Erlinger and created one large virtual convention. And then next year, I don't think we don't have it scheduled to do a convention online. We have a series of smaller half-day events that we're planning to do instead. And so that's going to be a material change, but it's going to take the place of our regional seminars. It's for everyone's benefit. Let's see what else we have going on. We talked about the journal a little bit, so I'm going to get a little deeper into what we're doing there, because as vendors and professional service people, you're going to want to know how to repurpose your particular dollars into ways to get in front of the members and get your products and services out there. The journal when we release the journal in print, it's going to have 3 editions that are in print, and we're calling those showcase editions. And you will be able to do an advertorial in those showcase editions. In the March-April edition of the journal, the professional service providers will have the opportunity to do the advertorials, but we're also putting in there a directory of all the services so that the HOA board members, and they've been asking for this because everybody's going to electronic. We're going to do paper. Okay, so we're going to retrograde. So we're being a little retro here. So if you're a member of ECHO, you will get a directory will be sent to we have about 6,000 on our distribution, and 16,000 people on the distribution. It'll also go out in an electronic form to another 12,000 plus people in the state of California. So this is, I think, an important thing to do. We found it to be very valuable to folks. We have 3 of them. One is for the professional service providers. That's March, April. The July, August is going to be for management firms. And then the November, December, which is going to be out soon for 2020, we're testing it out this time, and that's for the legal profession. And so we're having 3 of these. It's going to be out and it'll be distributed. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to doing it. It's been so far. The November, December is full. It's just we're doing really well with it. So we have, as I mentioned, pivoted to virtual events. We have 4 webinar events that we're calling them. So they're webinar events. One is a live stream, and this is, they're done a little differently. The live stream event is a statewide regular type of a webinar, and we will stream it to throughout California and beyond. Whoever wants to get on the live stream, the last one we did had over 380 people attend. So we are able to reach out and get people to sign up. We have about a 70% attendance percentage of the registrations actually attend. And so, you're looking at over 250, 200 people that actually attended. Actually, it's more than that, 70%. So it's a large number of people that actually participate. On average, we're running about 150 attendees per event. And that's for the statewide live streams events. The other thing that we're doing is called a community conversation. These are regional events or topic-specific events that allow for interaction among the participants. And so we're doing, we'll be doing, we're scheduled for 6 of those in 2021. And then we're going to do Ask the Attorneys, which are live questioning of the attorneys. And that's an important opportunity for us as well. So we'll do the Ask the Attorney, and then we're going to do a couple of fun events. We're going to continue on with online education. We're going to do a workshop and classes. Those will be available as well. Overall, we'll do 28 different events in 2021. There you go, back.
Wow,
Sorry.
great.
I'll take a break right now. Any questions?
Go ahead, Annette.
Oh,
Well,
so I was
thank you.
going
Yeah,
to
go ahead,
say,
Annette.
so you mentioned you've been holding a lot of
Yep.
Zoom meetings. So what are some other ways to stay connected with HOA boards, or like other technology we should be aware of?
Different technologies. Well, there's a whole host of technologies, and we've been out there trying to look at most of them. The one that works the best is Zoom so far, to get in touch with people. There's always this little guy, the telephone, and that's actually probably my number 2 go-to thing is the telephone, is to give them a call and get people on conference calls. We're doing all the virtual publications. That's more of a push than a pull. So so we're doing Zoom. That's the big one. There are other technologies. I see that you have a different technology here. I noticed that Zoom is actually coming around and developing new stuff because of the situation. And the new meeting rooms are going to be great. You'll be able to have a special event. We're going to do a workshop for management firms, actually for the HOA boards, and we'll separate the boards into separate rooms, and then management firms or vendors can actually sponsor the room, and they can go in and they can talk, and they can't stay there, but they can go in and talk, because we're going to be training them on how to evaluate management firms. And so that's kind of what we're doing. But I expect that that's going to be really popular, and so that's a good way to do it. But the technology's there, and because so many of the board members have used it now and they've been trained, that's one of the positive benefits of the COVID, is that technology advancement has accelerated.
Or what about like those who don't use like email or Zoom or don't have access to internet? How are you connecting with those, board members?
It's we use the phone. It's the only way we can, or we mail. We did budget this year, or 2021. Just got the budget approved yesterday, so we did approve direct mailing, and so we are doing some direct mailing to reach out to board members that don't get the other things. Now, that's why also the printed version of the journal is so important, is so that we give a touch that's a physical touch with a lot of our membership. Yeah, so there are other ways to do it. They're expensive. I'll tell you, the direct mailing is a very, very pricey undertaking.
Yeah.
Okay.
How can we work as vendors? How can we work with you to keep these board members engaged? Obviously, your finances, I'm guessing, come from both the combination of vendors sponsoring events and from board members in past, at least, paying to be part of the educational series. So you had mentioned that at least for the next year, the board members, or you're making the events free to the board members, correct?
I don't know if it's going to be an entire year, but it's going to be probably and it'll be, any of the members will have it for free, or without a doubt.
So how can we as vendors and property managers help keep you moving forward? Because we understand the value of what you provide. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. It helps out the board members, and it helps us out also. So we want to be, as vendors and as property managers, we want to make sure that we keep your service active and alive. But of course, we're still businesses, so we need to, how do we keep the value for all of us engaged? The vendors, property managers, board members, moving forward, at least during this next few months, year?
Right. Thank you for the question. I think it's an interesting question. For us, we would like it if people have a concern or if they have a challenge and they want to know more about how the undertaking that they might need, you can send them to us. Have them call us. If you have a problem, with a homeowner or a board, if they're members of ours, we'll take the time to do it. If they're not members, I take the ones even when they're not members. So we're considered a neutral third party. We're not advocating for the vendors, and we're not advocating for a management firm, but we're not advocating for the boards or an individual homeowner either. We're just telling them, we're educating them. We're saying, okay, this is the way a contract is done. This is what you need to be looking for. These are the things that you have to do in a board meeting. So that's one way, is if we can be a facilitator of making these communities friendlier. And frankly, during COVID, one of the fallouts of COVID has been people are a little grumpier, they're a little more cantankerous. You see it, you hear it, and that's just what happens. Some of the times, and I get calls. I mean, we get over 1,000 calls. We get thousands of calls a year where people are looking for a way to deal with either a problem that a service provider has presented to them, or they're looking for a service, right? Painters and pool people and you name it, construction folks. We've had a ton of calls on, for example, the balcony issue, and the one program we did just a couple of weeks ago and got the 380 registrations was on the rental restriction law. It's like, how do we implement that and execute that? So how that works with you is that, we're trying to put the two people, the vendors together, solutions. We're trying to create solutions to build these communities, which means we talk to the homeowners. We had at one point considered eliminating sort of this whole service with a smile attitude that we have at ECHO, where we would vet through a lot of the calls and not take them in person. And Jacqueline Price is on my team, and she takes many of these, actually probably more than me, and then I get other ones. But it's important for us to continue to have that human touch and to have someone you can talk to that doesn't have something. We're neutral. We don't have something in the game, and hopefully at some point they'll become members. And one of the things you said, Brian, is that the funding base. Most of our money actually is coming from HOA board members. It's coming from the HOA boards. It's actually coming from only 15% of it is coming from the service providers. And so that allows us to be somewhat independent of that influence, and it makes it a really kind of a nice and unique to this industry situation for us. And that's why we need your help, and that's why I call us a philanthropy. So right. We can help you a lot. And in fact, I should give a plug to a new program just approved yesterday. Vendors and management firms can buy memberships to ECHO in bulk now. And it's a huge discount, up to 80%. And we're going to do it for a short time, just through the end of February, I believe. But you can buy a package of 50 memberships at a significantly reduced price. I think 50 was, I believe. Anyway, I won't even quote it because I don't want to mess it up. But it's going to be a significant discount, and you should, if you're interested in helping ECHO stay around, that's the thing to do, is get them to, get our board members engaged, have them be part of the association. We provide a huge benefit, and it's now, because we've had to morph, and this is sort of we have to go to this virtual platform. It's allowed us to actually expand the HOA University, which was our hallmark event. I mean, that was our big event. Now we're much bigger, and our numbers are actually growing rather significantly. We're serving a lot more base, and I don't think people understand that, but it is a big deal, and our programs are all set up to do that. That was a long answer. I hope it somewhat.
That's a great answer, and I like the idea of being able to sponsor boards, which is what it sounds like. We're essentially would be doing is sponsoring boards.
Yeah.
I think one of the things that all of us do is we want to be the trusted advisors to these boards. We want to be a valuable resource that they can rely on. And so that's fantastic that you're offering that. Thank you.
Yeah, and one of the keys here is, as trusted resources, if you're interested in writing articles or participating in our newsletter, again, the newsletter is going out to over 12,000 Californians, and the articles are going out to about 6,000 in the journal. So if you want to be part of that, let me know. If you want to be part of the webinars, let me know, because we are doing those things. We actually did fire recovery just recently because of the wildfires in the North Bay. And so that would be a community conversation. It's a smaller group, but it was well attended. We had, I believe, 150 or 170 people show up at that one. And it's really important. So if you or any of you in the audience here is interested in providing content, I'm the person to contact at E-XPO, and I manage all the content for the webinars and for the articles. So I put that out.
That's also fantastic. That's a great idea. Thank you.
Yeah, you bet.
Great. Yeah, I love those opportunities that we can have. Daisy, did you have something? Because I saw you kind of raise your hand a minute ago.
So talking about sponsorship, sponsoring members, usually send out the marketing plan for next year, and like what events you have going on and what we can sponsor. Is that going to be going out pretty soon?
Well, I'm glad you asked that question, Daisy, and Jacqueline loves that you asked that question. Yes, we had to, we redesigned our business model, and so it's taken us a little time to get there. And we just had our board meeting yesterday to approve the pricing and everything that we have to go. So it's all ready to go. Now it's just a matter of getting enough time through the holidays to pull the kit together, but we have it all together now, and you will be seeing a kit. I'm hoping, and we have Thanksgiving next week, so probably not next week, but I'm hoping within 2 or 3 weeks we'll have something out for you. It will be available though. Thanks for the question.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Why don't I talk a little bit about what sort of the reaction of the homeowners to COVID, since that's sort of our focus here. Would that be okay?
Yeah, we have about 2 minutes to have that before we need to wrap up, Dave. So yeah, go for it.
Okay, so I'll go quickly here. Initially, most people were freaking out, and they were holding back some of their funds. Some dues weren't paid, and just because they're going crazy, they didn't know what it was. So that's it. And the pools. The pool situation was a major issue in Southern California, at least, and I know Northern California eventually. But we've seen a lot greater involvement with the homeowners and the boards. They like it a lot. The electronic meetings has been a big win, and now we're looking at permanent legislation to keep the electronic meetings. People are asking more questions, and we're getting more involvement, more engagement by homeowners. And some of the homeowners that aren't in the community that bought rental properties in the community are now interested, and they're zooming in from I've heard London, and one was in Thailand, and they zoom in and they're engaging with the board. So there's a better access, and so that's one of the real benefits that we're seeing. There's a more of a focus on getting things done, and the meetings are more efficient. So those are some positive things that are happening. People have learned the technology. Some of the negative things, obviously, you don't get to see people as often, and people are getting sick. But there are more homeowner conflicts because they are grouchier, they're stuck in their homes, and so there's been more conflicts. People are getting grumpy and a little short. There's also Zoom fatigue. People just, work. I had 5 Zoom meetings before noon the other day, and I'm sure some of you have more of those, have more than 5. And then it seems like people have a higher expectation, and so there's more because they're paying closer attention, so there's a higher expectation. So if you're managing these properties and you're a community manager, they're going to hold you to the fire a little bit more. So those are the main things that we've seen with the advent of COVID.
Very.
Dave, we did get a question come in from our live feed. So someone asked, what What post-pandemic long-term strategies do you advise industry partners to make immediately for 2021?
Post-pandemic?
Yes.
I think, well, in our case, just be prepared. But I think you need to rethink your marketing strategies in 2021. There's going to be during pandemic, and then there's going to be after. So be prepared. Have a contingency plan for after the pandemic is gone and when the virus is out. I think it'll behoove you to have a dual plan, and then make sure that your primary plan is no meetings for quite a while. I mean, for at least 6 months.
Mhm.
That's great.
Is that good?
Yeah.
Well, again, Dave, this has been incredible. So thank you so much. You provide us, all of us and our viewers as well, a lot of information, but also some great insight to what you folks are doing at ECHO, and how we can, continue to be partnering with you and all the different opportunities there. Thank you all for viewing today. We appreciate it. Again, if you have any additional questions after the fact, as we're wrapping up, please feel free to email or text to the number that's scrolling down below. And we appreciate you joining us. And this will be our last meeting before the holidays potentially, but we also just want to thank you and also wish you a great holiday season, including Thanksgiving. Please be safe and be well, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thank
Take
you.
care. Stay safe.
Thank
Bye-bye.